Oh, let me pull that again. I'm actually live. Okay. Oh, big drama. This thing is really annoying, actually. Can I affect the Encore Disable AI by attacking? That's the most important question, really. Oh, it doesn't like... Disable has a special interaction with Encore. Apart from that, it doesn't like to use Encore. So we'll never Encore before Disable, basically. Disable stuck at +0, and that's it. Not helpful. Acupressure disabled. It's not going to kill me with Signal Beam. So as long as I have some capacity to wake up, I don't mind being hit by a few ice beams. That is more annoying. Hey, Dana. You've done a good job there, Dougal. You accidentally set the chat remote only. Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, sorry. Just gonna kill this. I do have the boosts. It's Marowak 1. It's fine. There's a command to get a list of banned users, right? That exists, I think. I'll get that back this turn. I have to account for the chance of U-turn. I'm actually scared of anything. I guess it would be Registeel 4. I do have to switch out if it's Registeel 4. But it's not. Okay, do I have to stall out that Ice Punch? So I can lock you into Shadow Claw some percentage of the time too. Maybe I should have accounted for Registeel 3 a bit more before switching out of the fear of Registeel 4. I've got to remember that the other Pokemon isn't the start of the game. Zapdos 3 is the somewhat likely switch in, given that Registeel 3 is also physical. It's part of the decision process because I'm not that scared of Zapdos 3. I think I try and catch Registeel on Shadow Claw. Feels like that's smarter to put up front than to just rely on Ice Punch. And if I don't catch you on Shadow Claw, but I catch you on Ice Punch, I guess I got to trick back. Oh no, that's much worse. That's so much worse. Now they're both frozen, and it's locked into Ice Punch, and I can't trick back. Fuck. I definitely want to get the item back if I can. Well, shit. Oh, instant 4, okay. I was... Oh, this is a difficult one. Zapdos is quite likely to come in. I can just rest, and I won't lose to Registeel if I just stick it on rest. Just thinking, but if I use rest here, by the time I come out of rest, I'll be at under 100 HP anyway. So I should definitely start on acupressure. Or I can do substitute rest, since it takes 2 shots to break the sub. I don't like being hit by too many ice punches. It would probably be a bigger risk to not boost though. Accuracies are nothing. I'm in 4-shot range here. Oh, the defense. I think I have to rest now, surely. I don't want to risk that break. I can sub rest. It's probably a free shot on the sub, which is perfect. And again, I think I have to acupressure. Accuracy again. I've got evasion and defense. But the problem is Zapdos is probably U-turning. The final Pokemon probably... Well, it can't have a ground move. And it can't have a move stronger than Thunder or Ice Punch. It's fairly likely to be a bad set, a really bad set. Worse than Suicune 2. Worse than Raikou and Entei 2. And obviously Cresselia sets, but not an Ice Beam one. Entei. I guess Fire Fang is weaker. And maybe Return isn't probably considered by the AI and switching. Entei 4. I'm very surprised Zapdos U-turned to Regiseal before Entei. I feel like the safer thing to do here is to wait out Overheat, though. Only got 5 in total. I need to not forget that Zapdos is in the back, though. I can't waste too many Dark Pulses. Oh, please break my sub. I don't want to waste... I don't want to waste too much Dark Pulse PP on you. And I'll 2-shot Zapdos. Unless I crit. Oh. It's always the freezes. And the U-turns, of course. Where are you? Yeah, I need to be a little bit careful about the surf in rain. Shouldn't be reading something else when I'm playing. But I am. Alright, bad size, I was just reading your messages. Yeah, it's the same as the early rounds of doubles. So it's the same as castle. It's the same as factory doubles. Which, to be fair, factory doubles on the early rounds isn't completely brain dead. It does go for super effective moves. It's not actually random. But it does do funny things like get stuck on weather moves forever. And it will get stuck on helping hand forever. And the behavior on Earthquake will be very predictable. But yeah, I think almost... It's interesting to know, but I think almost no one cares. Like, no one uses it, right? What's cool, it's the doubles AI. It's exactly what my forum post on factory doubles goes over it. It's quite a lot stronger than random. That is true, at least. 800 is still quite a lot. To be honest, in some ways, the doubles AI would benefit from not having smart AI included for very long streaks. Like, the first two or three rounds of factory, everyone knows is really hard. It's easier once smart AI kicks in for the factory. Yeah. Well, I have a Discord now. Is it not in the chat? Is it not in the... Oh, let me do it. I forgot to put it in the title. I haven't done anything. I've just made a few channels. Okay. I actually already got frozen by Reggie Steele. And then, no, it's actually better than that. It was match 412. So, sorry, 1412. Drapion gets frozen. I switch to Latias to lock it into Shadow Claw, and Latias gets frozen as well. That's El Clasico. This is weird because I kind of want Latias to faint or to lock it, I guess. I can't let it roar. Return's got plenty of PP. Yeah, I need to link it everywhere. So I don't want to advertise Discord too much yet because I haven't done anything except create it. So there's like there's nothing in there. What I do know is I want a channel for each facility, and I want a channel that promotes anyone who's streaming, which I'm guessing is going to be a bot. I'll add a load of Twitch accounts to the bot, and if they go live, it'll say who's live, so that I know who to raid. To be honest, I don't know very much about Discord. I'm hoping that one of my friends can run it for me. Shadow Ball from Jolteon 1 or 4, right? Has to be Jolteon 4. No, it doesn't. It could be Jolteon 3 is unlikely to do that. What is that? 90 damage? That can't be Jolteon 3. It's Jolteon 4. It's always going to Shadow Ball because I've removed Volt Absorb. Double drop, nice. Oh, people have joined. Thanks, guys. Yeah, now I get to ping you. I in each of the channels I am planning to pin some kind of like, I don't want to call it like a noob guide, but like basically a noob guide. It's like, hey, what are you trying to beat? You're trying to beat this, play this team. Actually discussion, yeah. And I also want to, because the AI discussion comes up so much, to have that as a channel as well. Wait, no, we saw Shadow Ball, didn't we? Slipping. If you get a special defense drop from Focus Blast, I'll switch. But I've been procrastinating the Battle Factory video badly. At this point, I might have to rush editing to make sure it goes out. Otherwise, I might never complete it, so the editing might be a bit shit, but it's fine. Yeah, they're all coming out of the woodwork. Probably ping the mods or something. It is a bit embarrassing that this bug hasn't been found before now. Like, that really shows how little people play or pay attention when they're playing. It's fine. I had in my head the video was going to be like a point and then like a really good example talking about why you want to do this instead of that. But I think it's going to be more just like me talking. It's going to be closer to a podcast perhaps, which is honestly fine. Where are you, Flareon? I don't want you baton passing, Flareon. That's the issue. Setting up on Firefang isn't ideal, but I'll have to do it. Yeah, but what I'm basically saying with the editing is I'll put some effort into the first minute or two, and then I think the video probably won't perform that well, but it's fine. I've got a little Warabi quiz at the start. And by that I mean like a situation. What would you do here? It's fine, don't worry. It's one of those things where they call it's like evergreen content. It's like my YouTube channel needs to grow some videos anyway, so that it helps it be discovered. It's like when you discover if you discover a new channel on YouTube and you go on the page and there's like one video, you're like, ah. But if there's 5 videos, then you end up sometimes watching all 5. So I want to have built up a stack of YouTube videos, even if they're not all very good. But yeah, you're right, parasitized. So I don't see this factory video is not going to do well at the start, which is fine. I know it's not. I'm hoping is that it will like do well in like 2 years' time, perhaps. I lost count of the leeches. Using ingrain, you're out. Yeah, there's going to be a fairly... I'm expecting there to be a fairly serious slant towards helping out newer players, which I'll pin some stuff and do some videos for. And I understand that helping new players can be frustrating, but I suggest just don't respond if you don't want to. In fact, maybe there should be like a channel that's just like how to get all the gold prints. One day I'll get the gold print. I'm envisaging... I think if you've got like specific team building stuff, it probably goes in the facility. I'm just thinking. I definitely want to separate out the AI discussions, because those can get fairly complicated. I've linked your website, Artismo. I hope that's not a problem. Actually, I wanted to ask you, would it be a problem for me to link your website in a YouTube video? Because I'm not sure if you're hosting for free somewhere and you'd lose your free trial. Not that there would be like an insane amount of traffic, but it might be like plus 100% or a bit more perhaps for a while. We need to get this. We need to get those leaderboards sorted out. As an intermediate step, perhaps I need to just list what I think. Now you probably are Reg Ice 4. I'm a bit worried about Reg Ice 1 though. Also, I suspect the Gen 3 Frontier stuff isn't going to be very busy. Particularly on the factory side, like Elrix's Discord's the place where that gets discussed. But unless I get horribly stuck in Gen 4, I will end up playing the Gen 3 Frontier at some point. I think the only unbeatable, maybe unbeatable record in Gen 3 is the Arena one. the 300 in arena. Everything else is just like a grind, right? Even factory, it's just a grind. It's going to be a grind to beat. I mean, maybe I don't do doubles, but... The arena one is the one where I could see myself... Unless I'm very wrong about how hard it is, I could see myself playing arena for 1,000 hours and not getting 300. If I'm honest. I think I would get factory in 1,000 hours. Unless someone improved it again. The same in tower. I don't know, I mean, I just... Whenever I've played arena, it's always been shit. Oh yeah, we should do crystal. Oh, let's get up. Okay. To be honest, does anyone want to run the facilities? Does anyone want to run my Discord? Open applications. Diana, where did you go? Why is it so hard? Because arena is really difficult. It's the fact that the order is fixed and you can't switch, and also in the arena, if you miss a bright powder opponent, you can just lose because the judging is based on those 3 turns, and missing a move is -1 skill or whatever, and you probably also lose in body. And 300 is just a long time to not lose. Like, I would put... My personal feeling on arena is that I think it's a similar difficulty to the factory. Like, I know factory is random, but factory has the IV bug, which is in your favour, and also in factory you can switch. I would say arena is about as hard as factory is. No worries, Respawn. It's just putting out feelers. You don't have to say yes. I only ask you, Respawn, because I know I can trust you. Not that I don't trust other people, I'm just completely certain I can trust Respawn. Why did I go Latias? But despite all that, the arena record is... It is done pre-decomp. I don't think Submens knows about the decomp shit. He was just playing normally, if that makes sense. I think he did play a Frontier Assistant, though. Yeah. Good player, good team, good luck. I think Arena is harder than Palace, for example. And I think it's harder than Factory. But the goal in if I play the Frontier in Gen 3, the goal could be, let me just check that you're not going to Destiny Bond. You are Driftblim 4, right? No. I don't mind if you baton pass, but you're not going to do that, are you? The target in the arena might be like 200 plus instead of the record. I think if I was going to like seriously play the Factory in Gen 3, I'd definitely want to get the records. I don't know about the Pyramid though. I'm not sure if I want to play the Pyramid. I'm so pleased that the Seriously guy streamed playing the Pyramid. It means that, like, obviously that's a very trustworthy run, in my opinion. I don't think it's that bad. I just think it's difficult to keep paying attention for that long. And then I think the Crystal Battle Tower could be really fun. I kind of want to play that, to be honest. Maybe not the level 10 one because it's a little bit easy, but the others. And I don't think there's any like real records in Crystal, but because we're streaming, and because I can track it. Even though the game doesn't track it, I can track it, so that I can do like a real run there. So that'll be like the first ever real run in Crystal, I guess. And then I think I don't know about doubles, but definitely in singles, I think the Subway record is going to fall. Unless people have been lying to me. The Subway record should probably be about 3k. The problem with the Subway record, it's not really a problem. The Smogon leaderboards don't allow emulator runs. But there's no way I'm playing Subway without speed up. And also, it would be a massive pain to get the team I need onto my Gen 5 cart for Subway. Quag 2. Thanks, Ellen. I don't want to play. I don't want to play the subway without speed up, especially if I end up playing Drapion in the subway, which I think is probably going to be the team. I don't have a DS with a capture card, so I'd be blowing like $100 on that, or however much it costs. SMT. It's SMT. Am I being stupid? Super multi-train. It could do. Scizor can at least switch into ice moves. Oh, I've forgotten what your lead is again. Is it Togekiss? I mean, Technician Bullet Punch is really, really useful, obviously. I don't know what speed tiers look like in the subway, although I would guess that just like in Gen 4, Scizor's pull towards the base 80, base 85 uninvested tier. I've never liked Garchomp in doubles that much. I haven't got any great ideas. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction in Gen 5 would just be, isn't Landorus overpowered? And can't I use Landorus? I don't know, Landorus is weak to ice as well. Kind of want to wake up. That'll be a good enough. I also don't know how good the Gen 5 AI target, Allied is the situation, because if you can just use Protect, the partner are going to solve the problem for you. It's tricky because in Gen 4 multis, it's really important to take damage about at the same pace as the ally you have, which means sometimes you don't KO the Pokemon that's threatening you, you have to KO the Pokemon that's threatening them, and vice versa. I mean, Togekiss is good because it's just... Togekiss survives a surprising number of attacks, for people who haven't tried it before. Its bulk is quite good at base. Please don't miss. Good. I don't think so. Crest. When did Crest get nerfed? Was it Gen 7? When it lost HP? It lost like... What did they do? They moved it to 580, didn't they? Was it lost? It lost another 10 points and something. Was it special defense? Or was it just HP it lost? The Cresselia nerf was really strange though, because Cresselia was used a lot in VGC, I know, but Cresselia was never like a dominant force. It was just like safety glue. Just put it on teams and it made every matchup a bit more stable. It's T-Tar 4, which always crunches. I think I want a memento so I can trick. Because I think if I T-wave and I charm and crunch crits, I lose. So I think it has to be memento trick to cover for the worst case scenario, which is crunch crit. And obviously I must trick to avoid the loss to Dragon Dance. You did crunch. That's somewhat rare. You normally like going for another one. The choice to charm again is interesting. I take about 10% from crunch on Drapion. I can bring that down a bit more. The fact that I bring it down is less important. It's mostly the fact to cover off the crunch defense drop on Drapion. I feel like I haven't played Gen 5 multis. I feel like you would have to run Protect though. Just to make sure that your ally isn't being left in a 1v2 too early on. Of course, Endure is also really, really strong. Arguably stronger than Protect. As long as you don't get unlucky. Just gotta hope they don't get an early defense drop, because that would be really annoying. Defense boost is good. It's not a long setup into crunch, but it should be enough. Particularly because it's a camper, and the sand is likely to help me more than it hurts me. Or their next switching, as long as they're not next switching isn't ride on, basically. You got acupressure again, then substitute on the final turn. Oh no, it's a camper. It's 202 HP then, isn't it? We'll put ourselves in kill range of some of the earthquakes. One's on 4. We are at +2 defense. You see, if you earthquake here and then you quick claw earthquake, I might be dead. The subway threads are dead anyway, right? We really need to set up the leaderboards for subway somewhere else. The King's Rock flinch. Oh my god. The problem with explosion in Subway is that it doesn't halve the opponent's defense anymore, so it's back to being a 250 power move instead of a 500 power move. Snorlax might be good enough despite that though. And of course you would only want to do that if you can guarantee that the opponent is surviving, or at least surviving as long as Snorlax isn't critted. %. I think it's fine. We need to do... Altissimo messaged me about it. Setting up the leaderboards on speedrun.com or something. There's some way of doing it. And it went over my head slightly when she was explaining it to me. But if it can be on there, it's not up to one person anymore, which is what it needs to be. I don't know, I need to look at the way it works. What I think I'm going to say is that, and this is my opinion leaking through, I don't think I care about anything except the streak and the team being legal. Mods. Yeah, my personal opinion would be like all this stuff about like not using certain glitches to copy TMs and stuff into clone Pokemon. I just don't care about any of it. Is the team possible to obtain, particularly in Gen 5 actually, where there's all the Dream World stuff? The team is possible to have obtained legitimately, and it isn't something like Wish Blissey, which is taking the piss. And then the streak is streamed. To be honest, probably demand the whole streak is streamed. It does, apparently. But it's like, I can't remember what Altismo said. It's like, what is it? You gotta do an extent, you do something like the speed becomes, you invert the speed or something. I can't remember. I feel like that's the best chance of getting non-English speakers aware of the leaderboard. It's also the best chance of the leaderboards being taken seriously, and the best chance of someone not being in sole control of the leaderboard, which is the current problem. Even if it was me, I wouldn't want it to be like that. I wouldn't want to be in control of the whole leaderboard. Because, like, what if I go AFK for a month? I don't want to waste serfs. Because I'm setting up on them. Yeah, like the whole point of moving away from Smogon isn't to make a Smogon 2 where it's got the same problems, it's to fix the problems. I need to read a bit more about it. It's a good thing that people have been streaming it as well as me, though. Because I can prove some interest. Like, at minimum, I can prove that me, CISO, Obliterator... I'm really sorry if I'm forgetting someone's name. The new guy, I forgot his name. Are all streaming factory attempts. And there's the... what's his name? I've forgotten everyone's name. The Urban Deer or something was doing Castle. So like we have like more than 5 people. And if we include Gen 3, it's even more. If we include Gen 3, it's like easily about 20 actually. I need your item, but I also don't want you to have a win con. You won't use Giga Impact against Latias. That's fine then. And if there's one thing I've learned over the past 200 battles, it's that having Latias at high HP matters. Oh yeah, and there was someone else as well. There was I'm forgetting everyone's names. I've seen a number of people streaming. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, if there was a streak category and it was on speedrun.com, would Worcester submit factory runs? That's what I said, Parasitize, like I don't care. What matters is that you played a team and that the team is possible. But the interesting one, though, because a very easy way of defining legality is to say you can only have Pokemon it's possible to have obtained in games. The problem is that makes Wish Blissey possible. Because Wish Blissey is like an interesting case where it is the Pokemon... what was it? The Pokemon New Year's... something... 2006 or something where... what was the Blissey situation? It's like... or was it 2005 where... Blissey... No. There were eggs distributed that could have a wish. You couldn't reset for them. You got a random one. One of them could have been Chansey. And then it would have a random nature and random IVs. But it's possible that like a perfect Wish Blissey exists. It's just that it probably doesn't. That would be... but you see, if you... it's a very... yeah. The NYC... it's a very simple rule to say anything that could have been obtained in the game without a glitch is legal. It's like... Wish Blissey probably doesn't exist. Wish Blissey is important though because the Wish Blissey would dramatically change the metagame. And if we disallow Wish Blissey, then what are we... if we say Blissey isn't allowed, then why isn't it allowed, and what's the difference between allowing Wish Blissey and allowing Event Raikou? Like, obviously you can, through fan means, mock the event Raikou event now, but it's like Wolfu Fran means we could mock the Wish Blissey event if we wanted to. And also, it feels a bit silly to be like, oh, there's no event Pokemon, because some people probably do have legitimate, good IV event Pokemon, and then it's like they're at a permanent advantage. Yes, tricky. And it's, oh yeah, it's a properly, because when you get the egg, that's when it decides the IVs, is when you get the egg, so you can't even reset for it. It would literally just be ungodly luck. And they probably didn't even give away enough. Don't know. It needs to be an even playing field. It'd be interesting, though. It'd be interesting to, I don't know. I guess one thing you could say is perhaps you could have you could just have separate categories, but I kind of cringe at having a load of categories when there aren't going to be many players anyway. The other thing is that, like, even if you didn't have a perfect Wish Blissey, even if you didn't have a bold one, if you could just have a Blissey with the move Wish, and your defense IV was above, say, 20, that would be extremely useful. And like a Blissey with a not terrible nature, so not reduction in speed or defense, with a above average defense IV is already like busted. I don't know. Perhaps we should say, perhaps the rule should be, you can only use Pokemon you can legitimately obtain without the use of bugs or glitches as of, I don't know, 2024 or something. Because there's no way to get Wish Blissey without bugs or glitches. They were discussing exactly that, Altissimo. I said that you told me about it, and then I was confused. I mean, yeah. Again, I have two gripes. The first one is making it fair and not making it like a witch hunt to be like, oh, how did you get this Pokemon? Show me exactly how you got it. But the other one is like, it shouldn't cost $800 to buy a team to play a game. Like, I already think it's a little bit ridiculous that certain things on speedrun.com you'd have to like spend like 100, but even that is a lot less than like 800. Oh no, I'd much rather it be on speedrun.com, or just, I'd much rather whatever the records do. Ideally, it's not hard to post them if you haven't got the good English, and it's not run by one person. So if I go on holiday for a month, it doesn't mean that no records can be added. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny, I'm not saying there's definitely skill in doing RNG manip on emulator with those plugins and scripts that tell you like your frame and shit. There's definitely skill in that, but it's easier. And there's also, I'm sure there are mods and tools that take it even further and make it even easier. And at some point, you're almost just genning them. Weirdly, if it was harder to get perfect Pokemon, it might be more of a reason to not allow it. But the fact that it's quite easy to get perfect Pokemon, it kind of removes the need to have it be legitimate at all. Where was he? Selim was saying that it might have to be a different game instead of just a category extension. Yeah, I don't know. If you're interested in doing tower streaks, the last thing you want to be told is, oh yeah, you've got to spend like $800 on all this old shit. And then you've got to spend like 20 hours playing the games and learning how to manip and then manipping. Like, particularly because it's like you probably need to buy like 4 different games at least. Just doesn't seem. Yeah, well, we were just talking about the event stuff. The interesting one is, I know you mentioned it to me as well, Artissimo. The interesting one is the Wish Blissey, because it's hard to define why that's. You need to be careful in defining why that's illegal, but Event Raikou isn't. I mean, one argument is that maybe we should just allow Wish Blissey, because, like, honestly, if we allowed Wish Blissey, it would change the tower for Gen 3 and 4, but it's like, is the tower meta for Gen 3 and 4, is it really that sacred? And it would probably be a thing in the arcade, maybe in the castle, but you don't really need it in the castle as much. And like the other Gen 3 facilities you might use it in is Dome. It's kind of hard to use it in Arena. It's kind of hard to use it in Palace. I kind of like... Everyone says Wish Blissey is OP, and I do agree that Wish Blissey is really good, but you kind of want soft boiled, and Blissey already has 4 move slot syndrome. And it's like, okay, Wish Blissey is OP. Show me the team that abuses it so hard that it breaks the tower in ways that other teams don't. Wish Blissey wasn't allowed. I think the main reason for Wish Blissey not being allowed is the fact that for a very long time the Smogon's boards were specifically never emulator and would not allow Genning or PK Hex. Like every single record I've done in the past year would be invalid on Smogon like 15 years ago. But it's like, even in Pyramid, you want soft-boiled for out-of-battle healing, right? Because that's why you're bringing Blissey, kind of. So would you run soft-boiled and Wish? I guess you could. Soft-boiled, Wish, Seismic Toss. But it's like you're running out of moves, right? Like, you kind of want Blissey to run T-Wave. You kind of want to have another way of doing damage that isn't Seismic Toss. But it's also like, the thing about Wish is that you can lose, right? Like, let's say I want to play against Alakazam or something, and it Psychic Spadef drops me, and I wasn't expecting it, and then I've got to Wish, but I haven't got Protect on my Blissey, so I might just be dead to, double Psychic after the Spadef drop. And at that point, I would much rather have soft-boiled. And stuff like being randomly paralyzed, randomly Spadef dropped, that's so much more common than I think people realise. But it's tricky because what would be bullshit is to allow Wish Blissey and then be like, oh no, and suddenly it's like not allowed for like nebulous reasons. Yeah, honestly, the best, like if we're worried about the speedrun leaderboards rejecting us, the best counteraction is to have valid streaks already kind of exist, or mostly kind of already exist. Having said that, unless it's like a really obvious speedrun category, I bet most games start off with like 1 or 2 players anyway. I just don't... Yeah, I agree. I don't... Wish Blissey seems like it would be viable. It doesn't seem like it would... Like, I don't see why Wish Blissey would make 5k in either tower easy. Which seems to be the implication when people discuss it. I could see Wish Blissey being disgustingly good in the arcade. But it's like, is the arcade singles metagame that sacred? Do I even want to waste the Heatwave PP? Not really. I'm going to rechat again in a second, as waiting for the special defense boost. Come on, Toothless, you don't normally take this long to get special defense when you need it. Last 6 boosts. Right, this happens... I swear, I know it's not... I know it's confirmation bias. I swear this happens a lot, whether these last 3 boosts are all special defense. It seems to happen a lot with acupressure. Special defense, special defense, special defense. Yeah, Wish Blissey is a slap in the face to kart players who aren't willing to do the pike glitch. Or similar. Arbitrary code execution stuff. I mean, a simple definition, right, is, I mean, if you're a kart player who thinks that forcing non-official events is illegal and shouldn't be and counts as cheating, you're kind of already forced out by things like Event Raikou, right? I just don't think... I think you have to allow all events or allow no events, right? But it's like, okay, I don't have a legit Rash good IV Event Raikou, and I don't want to do the community one. What do I do? Like, do I have to find someone in real life who's willing to trade me theirs? They're probably going to clone it. They're probably not going to trade it to me, are they? I think any kind of mid-ground is shit, right? Because saying that no, I suppose just saying that no event stuff, I suppose that's a simple rule, actually. The problem with that is that it makes a lot of records become illegal. Or you say all events are legal and therefore no one gets like special treatment because anyone can just gen anything. So no one has an advantage because they played the game like 15 years ago. Or you can say that events and no events are two separate categories. I mean, you could have events, and I guess events and emulator, and then you could have no events, and the whole point of no events then would be no gend Pokemon, probably. Yeah, I mean, we already have an unfair advantage, yeah. I mean, TRE was using random IVs on his Bronzong. A part of me also wonders, are we ever going to have someone who is deeply interested in getting a record in the frontier, who also really, really cares about the sanctity of legitimate Pokemon? That seems like a tough sell. Like, I feel like I'm describing Worcester. But is Worcester ever going to actually play any of these categories, apart from Factory? You could also say that the fact that they don't exist isn't a good argument for it or against it. It shouldn't be factored in. The rules should be self-consistent. I'm not sure if you're still typing. I am waiting. Okay. I agree. The most important thing, actually, is that there's... The rules would have to clearly address what is and isn't explicitly allowed or disallowed. Like, it needs to be really clear whether or not event Pokemon are allowed, whether or not emulators are allowed, whether or not PK Hex is allowed, whether or not something as specific as Wish Blissey is allowed or not. Talking about the rules for the leaderboard on speedrun.com, probably. And also, ideally, it needs to be... Yeah, well, glitch is a good one, because you can... If there's like an any percent equivalent of the tower, right, you do arbitrary code execution on Platinum and set the streak to 9999. You could argue that the rage glitch alone is an interesting separate category. But also another thing is that the Japanese community become interested in also submitting records, and I know that there's a fairly sizable part of the Japanese community that is at least aware of what high caliber frontier gameplay looks like. They shouldn't be too surprised by the rules, is what I'm thinking. Perhaps there should be separate leaderboards. Problem is, we run the risk of just having so many leaderboards, so many different categories, so many different facilities, and they're all kind of empty. And I'm quite strongly biased against a load of rules that would make my own streaks ineligible, I admit. I want the streak I'm doing right now to be viable for the leaderboard. Yeah. Use an event mon, like how it's mentioned. But it's... If someone gets 400 with an event Pokemon and someone else gets 380, there's going to be a sentiment that 380 might be like actually number one when it's not. To be honest, I'm kind of siding on the... I'm very much on the side of the point of the frontier isn't about how you get the Pokemon, it's about everything else essentially. And I don't care. I don't care about anything as long as it's representing a legitimately obtainable Pokemon in the history of the game. Which sounds like a rule set that allows a wish Bissy in. And I think maybe that's fine. Yeah, allow everything, assume emulator. I don't know. And then if people really want it, to be honest, I'd be more interested in the rage glitch sketch version of the leaderboard. But if people really want it, there could be like a fully legitimate no event Pokemon allowed. But it feels a bit shit. I don't think I care about that really. And to be honest, even more than the like what I want to do it at some point, I'm kind of interested in the version of the game which is, what if you allow literally everything? You can edit the ability, moves, not the base stats of Pokemon. So it's kind of like a full glitches. It's sort of like basically like a PK Hex leaderboard. Although I don't think the leaderboard for that would be very interesting, actually. It would just be, I'm just curious to see what people come up with. How do you ever lose? You lose to Ride-on hitting, 3 horn drills. Or you lose to Heatran 3 dodging 3 attacks in a row or something. Wonder Tomb isn't very good, right? Like Wonder Tomb has issues. A lot of the scariest sets in the frontier do not do direct damage. I mean, Jacob, I think people would be disappointed in Wonder Tomb, I'll put it that way. I don't know. I mean, it's not a real leaderboard yet. It's just an idea I have. Trick Dialga sounds kind of disgusting, actually. Because of the moves you'd be locking them into. Although, actually, there's a lot of ice. There's a lot of Pokemon that would be locked into Ice Beam from that, but you could compensate. It's got one left. Must have missed one. Yeah, funny. It's funny. No God Oko reminds me of Bozo's old posts. He's trying to fish for people to find out how fit him to abuse the rage glitch. I don't think he ever got past Spore Jolteon and Sheer Cold Machamp. Which, to be fair, is that something like that is already sort of a 1k win team if you know how to use it properly. Yeah, first order thinking. Second order thinking is like, oh, let's copy a Subway team, basically. What if Durant wasn't weak to fire? And what if Durant had 600, what was it, 670 BST or something? You kind of get, the problem is you kind of get screwed over by the fact that you can't have shield dust. You can't have shield dust and battle armor and sturdy. You severely underestimate how good the tower is at hexing you. You look up every Pokemon that has the Quick Claw and what they can do to you. Like, to be honest, just Lapras 2 alone, it's threatening to Sing and to Sheer Cold. Most damage on a chain attack. What? That's so weird. Yeah, I mean, as long as your Wonder Tomb doesn't get destroyed by Mean Lick Perishong, and as long as, even if it does, your switch-ins don't lose to the other sets it could be running. The problem is, you realise, when you try and build an infinite team, you realise just how many moves have a chance to miss against Bright Powder. And you also realise how annoying stuff you don't think about, like Dust Noir 2 is. And you've got to solve U-turn. You've got to solve memento explosion. It's also you don't have to solve this stuff if you only want like 1k. But if you want to go 9999, there's a lot of things to solve. They wouldn't be interested in the category itself, though, I'm sure. You're talking about the frontier. They wouldn't be interested. They have to convert the score to a time, that's what it is. So it wouldn't actually be like 100 wins, it would be like 100 minutes or something. Right, it's time to forget skill swap slaking again. Wait, wasn't it a veteran? So veterans are set free. Yeah, you link me Cyberscore. The good thing about speedrun.com is the fact that the non-English speaking communities are more aware of it. It's definitely skill swap first. Now I've got to think about... It's never going to head smash here. I can memento immediately. I can also... I don't know. No, I have to trick. What's the line against a head smash crit on Latias? Rampardos is at 184 at the moment. It loses half its health. It does 22 to each substitute from Drapion. If it hits all the head smashes, that's annoying. The alternative, right, is that we just make a website. The problem with that is that the way submissions work, must not go through a single person. Yeah, the big downsides I see to a site are, first off, the development time for it. Second, the fact that no one will know it exists, apart from me shouting about it in random places. And then beyond just the initial development of the UI and the back end, there needs to be a system in place such that if the host of the website or an admin or whatever steps away, that streaks can still go in. Smogon isn't great, but the advantage Smogon does have is I think it's the first search result on Google, right? If you type in Frontier Records Platinum or something. It would be so much better if it... I mean, the biggest downside is the development time, right? It's just a fact that it's going to take ages to make that properly. I mean, to be honest, the GitHub page isn't a bad idea, but you have to continually add people. Let me think about. Hold on, let me just kill this Rampalos. Right, that's one head smash down. That's two. So Rampalis would have to have crit Latias this game. I guess it's not bad. To be honest, it's better than the matchup I have against Rhydon 4 already on lead slot. Thanks for stopping by, Tissimo. Yeah, even if we already had a site and rules defined, the big question is what happens with all the old streaks that don't have live streams? And I know the answer is to get rid of them, but it just feels so painful to do that. I guess they stay up on Smogon, right? Yeah, I guess they just consign them to Legacy Smogon board. There's another problem. It's not a big problem. It's a small problem. The LRXC leaderboards for the factory have a lot of streaks where it's partially streamed. It's like people who started streaming factory after 42 wins. But I guess the rules probably have to be quite strict. Yeah. By the letter of the law, it is. I agree, seriously. I think that's the fact that it's so difficult to get some of these records is it's not a problem. Problem isn't the right word. It's just extra motivation. To be honest, I don't want to start drama, but I've always been against the idea of. I've always been very against the idea of not streaming the whole run, because it just feels like someone could just cheat their way to whatever number they want. I'm probably tricking it into T-Wave. Because it's not try-attacking. Yeah, I'm tricking it into T-Wave, aren't I? I think I'd rather do that than Memento and risk being frozen by try-attack. I'm just thinking of how many... streaks would be... It's not how many streaks would be illegitimate, it's how many streaks would be legitimate under this rule set. Like, Goomer's records wouldn't count. LOXC probably has the world record in 50 and open level factory in Gen 3. I'm not even sure if there is a single valid streak in Tower, Arena, Pyramid, or Pike. Oh, no, there is Pyramid. Sorry, there is Pyramid. Pike and Palace. There is Palace. So, legal streaks exist in Factory, Palace, Pyramid. And if a DDD is remembering to record the VODs in Dome, that's it. And if you've got a fully streamed doubles in Gen 3, I guess that as well. Besides Factory, what do I have? Well, in Gen 4, I've got both Castle. I've got arcade doubles. I guess Squilliams would have arcade singles. Has anyone streamed Factory doubles in Gen 4? Not Factory, I mean, Tower doubles. Does a Tower doubles streak even exist in Gen 4, apart from what I've done? Wait, how much PP does this thing have? Whirlpool is 15, Toxic is 10, Amnesia is 20, and Rest is 10. Shit. I know the final Pokemon's easy because for Werelord 2 to be switched in second, the final Pokemon basically had to have no real attack. I'm not sure if this is speeding it up, actually. Well, I could do this, actually. It has got Aqua Ring. The multi-run exists. There must be some kind of haul streak that's... I mean, apart from Squilliams. Squilliams' haul stuff is all streamed, so haul singles. It would be hard to modify ROM, right? In a way that wouldn't be super obvious. Like, something I was thinking about months ago was like, how would you catch someone who just like, they were playing a ROM, but it was just like Rhydon 4 didn't exist, or like Machamp 4 doesn't exist? Because that would legitimately make it a lot easier. The best tower teams, the threat list is like 10 Pokemon. Just get rid of like half that list. And remembering that you can actually play that on, you can play that on regular hardware. Please get accuracy for the last one. Okay. What I'm hoping for is that if there's a streak which is suspicious, but it's streamed, I'm hoping that we would know it was suspicious and then it could be verified. The other thing is, it's like, there's no need to catch a cheater immediately. A streak can exist for like a year before someone notices something. I mean, something I've mentioned as a parasite before. I'm not going to do this, I promise. But, like, let's say I made a Smoke On account and just, like, outrageously cheated. Like, a complete nonsense team that sounds like it kind of works. And then I have pre-recorded footage that isn't streamed. I think cheating on stream would be very difficult. But, like, spliced footage. It would be interesting to see it try and be debunked. I wonder if they'd even notice. Being lucky is not a crime. Tran 4 is a bit tricky. It has changed my outlook a lot since I learned about the 80% risky AI on Explosion. So the too long... The summary on that is that for the whole streak I was like, doesn't the decomp say that Explosion is like 10% to happen each turn? So I was really scared of it, but it didn't happen that much. It did happen a bit, it didn't happen a lot. It happened like 10 times maybe, which isn't actually that much. But I read the decomp again and there's this extra piece of AI on Explosion, which is like the risky AI, which has an 80% chance to drop its score by -2, which basically means that Explosion has about a 2% chance of happening on a turn. So this Heatran right here has about a 2% chance to explode on any given turn. That number goes up a lot after Earth Power is depleted, or Magma Storm. What makes this like, I guess the fact that Substitute removes the Magma Storm trap does make this a bit less scary. I'm a bit scared of these Spadef drops from Earth Power though. Why does Fling seem wrong? I think Fling is basically random, isn't it? It's based on the type effectiveness of Fling, rather than how much damage it does. And it looks up certain things it likes to fling more. Fling is a known problem for doubles teams. Oh, no. Porygon 2-4 is Lumberry. The concern is that even after I waste the last free Tri-Attack PP, it's going to try and use Ice Beam anyway. If a crit would kill, never crit. I feel like people would notice, is what I'm thinking. Or just like, it's the simplest one is like, the chance that I get crit is 100 and the chance that I crit the opponent is like 1 in 10. I feel like that'd be so obvious. Unless it was a very short streak. I don't know. I mean, I also don't think... something that was discussed a lot. I don't think discussing how someone could cheat is bad. I think it helps the community to be aware of potential cheats more than it hurts the community to tell people how to cheat. To be honest, the most powerful thing you could probably do for Tower is like just get rid of, just break how Bright Powder works. Make it so Bright Powder doesn't do anything. Change the ROM so that Bright Powder and Lax Incense do nothing. That would be hard to spot and really effective. You wouldn't want to get rid of them because it would be obvious from like something like Trick or Fling potentially, but I don't think you could do Quick Claw, because I think Quick Claw it happens too much. People would notice if it never happened. Well, that's the question, right? Let's say I'm playing let's say I was playing Garchomp, Scizor, Starmie, and I get 300 wins because I disabled Bright Powder from working. It would require someone to watch like at least 50 to 100 games, making a note of all the potential Pokemon I could run into that could have Bright Powder, and then I didn't miss. It would be a very complicated setup. Particularly if I'm killing the Pokemon on the first turn, so no one knows what the Pokemon was. I feel like... What's also true, though, is that it's like with Minecraft speedruns, right? The Minecraft speedrun world record, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I'm just assuming it has above average luck for drops or whatever, because it's the world record, right? And it's the same with this. If I get to 2k, it'll be a lucky run. It must be. Because if it was going to be an unlucky run, I would have lost earlier. So if you analysed every single turn I played in the last 1,500 games, there would be something about that which was probably above average luck. Like, maybe I've been frozen a bit less than I should have been. Maybe it's like 9% instead of 10%. That's why it's difficult. Particularly with well, Latias didn't fall and Drapion didn't fall. Well, was Drapion frozen for 4 turns and Latias was frozen for 3 or something? To be honest, this is the thing, I don't really, unless you feel like you're being bullied or ganged up against, if you're playing legitimately, I just don't understand how you could be that anxious about it. It's like if someone accused me of cheating, it wouldn't really bother me because I know I'm not cheating, and I know that if someone like reviews like the past 1,000 games, they're not gonna notice anything weird because I'm just playing on a regular ROM. I think Worse has said something like that once. He said like, "Oh, what if I got a button that like I click the button and then I crit the next move no matter what?" That would be funny. On the bumpers. I don't know. I mean, at the same time, it's like there's a level of conspiracy which is also insane. It's like I can, and this is what I'll say at some point. I'll cover cheating in the Frontier at some point. I can understand a troll being like, "Oh, I'm gonna fake a speed run, or not a speed run. I'm gonna fake a tower record, and I'm gonna spend like 20 minutes writing this post, and I'm gonna Photoshop the streak." And it's like, okay, well, you spent 30 minutes on that post, and you're probably gonna incite like 5 or 6 different people to talk about it. So in some ways, it's like an epic troll or something, and I can see how that works. The idea of someone cheating a massive streak and recording it all has happened because that happened with Captain Santana, but that seems much rarer. Like, Santana's dedication to the cheat was unbelievable. How many people would be willing to cheat for like 200 hours? I think it's probably more than 200 hours. It depends. What's difficult is that it depends on the facility on the streak. It's like if someone cheated in factory doubles, it would be really difficult to prove it because factory doubles is such a short streak anyway. It would be difficult to streak in tower. Oh, difficult to cheat in tower because you just play so many games. The effort alone, given more record. It's Regice 1. I don't want to face this because of charge beam. I don't want ice. I don't want to Thunder Wave. It takes 2 turns and it can freeze me. Just take the L on the initial lead. Double Amnesia sucks because it also means that I'm not that likely to be able to trick it into the move I want to, which was Amnesia. I'm thinking about going Latias first and flashing because charge beam boosts are a big problem. Yes. Was it Articuno Flygon? Or was it Gengar? Yikes. Drifblim 1. You're probably going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel of set freeze, right? Go for Cloyster 2, Pelipper 2, Magneton 2, throw it to the other goats. That can kind of work. I think I go Latias first here. When we're going Drapion first is the charge beam boost situation. I was kind of hoping that Latias would faint. But it makes it simpler. Let's use 6. I probably do have time to fall out on Drapion if I do get frozen first turn. It was Gengar. Yeah, I thought it was Gengar. I don't know if you ever saw that. I watched like 2 hours of that. And I made so many notes of weird plays, weird matchups. I mean, the main thing was he just played... Can you imagine being at like 4k wins in doubles? And the match comes onto your screen and the whole match takes like 10 seconds. And it includes like a 1v1. And you're just like, you don't blink. What's funny is that every time I say there's like a bad matchup, it's going to be close. Like against this Regice, I was worried. Even if the Regice froze me, actually. Like it did earlier today. It's like, it's still a much better matchup than the regular trick teams have anyway. Loading the wrong target, like the attacker instead of the defender, is a really common AI bug. It wouldn't surprise me if it does that. That's a bug. It must be a bug. Is there a single set in the tower that flings an orb, though? Like, there's a lot of bugs in Gen 3 and Gen 4 that exist, but they just don't matter because nothing in the Frontier or the main game touches it. Surely you get the 9-hit KO. Yeah, you do. It's funny. Do you know what this team was? Frickin' Glaceon 3 Weavile. That's how I lost with Jumpman's team on the Garchomp sweep. It's funny because Garchomp's Jumpman's team would have also done a Garchomp setup there. So that would have been a loss with Jumpman's team. Hyper Voice being bugged doesn't surprise me again. Hyper Voice does it exist at all in the Frontier? I think there's like one Exploud set with it. Exploud 1. Exploud 4. How often do Exploud 1 and Exploud 4 get a move off when it matters? Shit. I've gone overestimate. Okay. Quick last round. Shit. Maybe not a quick last round then. Hopefully this is not Okay, bomber so free is fine. I don't want to get hit by focus blast very much. Oh, the defense drop. Is it worth one flash? Probably. Okay, good boosting Drapion, good boosting. And the last one. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting, isn't it, as well? Quick claw me again. I dare you. Okay, now quick claw Destiny Bond me. What's new snap? I think I'd rather use Altissimo's website, to be honest. Like, what does a leaderboard have to have? Now, it says a number, a user, but most of all, it has to have a link to the stream as proof, or VOD, or whatever. I have not been counting the Destiny bonds. I do one shot. It's definitely been at least 4. It's on Shadow Ball now, it doesn't tell me anything though. This Destiny Bond can also be stuck at -1. I won't be setting up again this game anyway. You can stream a pre-recorded VOD. That's actually probably the easiest way to cheat, right? Is you just stream a spliced VOD. But how does Cyberschool work in terms of, like, how do we get multiple users across, multiple trusted users to accept streaks across on there? Make sure it's not just one person. I mean, as long as the Gen 4 community is all on board. If Gen 3 wants to be somewhere else, if Gen 3 wants to stay on Smogon, that's fine. The LRXC server doesn't even maintain the factory streaks anymore. That was only for while the main Smogon thread was inactive on updating. The problem with the main Smogon thread is you can post your factory streak there, but it's not guaranteed to get added, and the discussion for whether or not it will get added will happen in a place you won't be able to see. Let's put it that way. That's the problem. Whereas I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying anything is perfect, but at least if it was somewhere else, we could say with some level of confidence, okay, well, this is blah, 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 blah. This is why it's not been added. But the problem is that Smogon, the problem with Smogon is it's trying very hard to appear as a democracy, but it's actually just a dictatorship. And it's a dictatorship with a serious conflict of interest where the people in charge have a vested interest in rejecting certain streaks if they want to lose their records.